Sigma males, known for their independent, introspective, and self-sufficient nature, often navigate life by their own rules, choosing to stand outside the conventional hierarchy that defines alpha and beta behavior. There's something fascinating about how they seem to quietly move through life, unaffected by the social pressures or expectations that many others feel compelled to obey. Sigma males are observers, deep thinkers, and tend to value authenticity and logic above all else. So, when they come across certain behaviors or ideas that are mainstream or popular, they often find themselves completely perplexed, shaking their heads in disbelief. One of the first things that makes absolutely no sense to Sigma males is the need for constant validation. While some people seem to thrive on external affirmation, compliments, or likes on social media, Sigma males just don't get it. They operate from a place of internal validation, where their self-worth is not tied to the opinions of others. In fact, the constant pursuit of approval seems like a waste of time to them. Why should anyone rely on others to feel good about themselves? To a Sigma, true confidence comes from within, and seeking validation only weakens a person's autonomy and sense of self. They understand that people who constantly chase external validation are often vulnerable to manipulation and may never truly know themselves. Another ridiculous thing Sigma males can't wrap their heads around is the obsession with following trends. In a world where people seem to constantly reinvent themselves based on what's trending, whether it's fashion, social media challenges, or even political opinions, Sigmas remain unbothered. Sigma males are wired to be independent thinkers. They don't need to wear a certain brand of sneakers, follow a fad diet, or join the latest viral dance craze just to feel like they belong. In fact, trends are often seen as distractions from personal growth and authenticity. For a Sigma, standing out isn't about being trendy, but about being true to themselves, no matter how out of place that may make them feel. Following trends blindly seems like a sure way to blend in with the crowd, rather than carve out an original path. Sigma males find it absurd that people would compromise their individuality for the sake of momentary social relevance. They're more interested in timeless principles and personal values that don't change with the seasons or the whims of popular culture. Another thing that makes no sense to Sigma males is office politics or social climbing within organizations. Sigmas tend to reject hierarchy, especially if it means navigating petty rivalries or engaging in underhanded tactics to get ahead. They believe in merit and results, not playing a game to impress the boss or sabotage a coworker. The idea of manipulating social relationships just to climb a corporate ladder is laughable to them. They don't care about being at the top of any pecking order. They care about mastery and self-sufficiency. Sigma males are the ones who quietly excel at what they do, often without seeking recognition. To them, skill and competence speak louder than any amount of networking or schmoozing ever could. Office politics, in their view, is nothing but a waste of time that could be spent on more meaningful pursuits, like improving their craft or exploring new ideas. The Sigma male's approach is often misunderstood by those around them who mistake their disinterest in playing the game for laziness or apathy, when in fact, it's a clear and conscious rejection of a system they deem superficial and unnecessary. Sigmas are also baffled by the societal pressure to constantly stay busy and productive, even if that busyness has no real purpose. They understand the value of hard work, but reject the notion that one should always be doing something just to seem productive. The hustle culture, which glorifies grinding non-stop and glorifies exhaustion as a badge of honor, makes little sense to the Sigma male. They believe in working smarter, not harder, and know the importance of rest, reflection, and mental rejuvenation. Sigma males often spend a great deal of time in thought, not because they're lazy, but because they understand that clarity and creativity often emerge from moments of stillness and solitude. This contradicts the world's obsession with doing, where people can mistake action for progress. To a Sigma, mindless productivity is akin to running on a hamster wheel. You expend a lot of energy but don't necessarily get anywhere meaningful. The Sigma prefers focused effort on things that truly matter rather than scattering their energy across tasks that serve no real purpose other than to keep them busy. The Sigma male also finds the idea of seeking social approval through material possessions utterly ridiculous. While society often equates success with flashy cars, big houses, and designer clothes, Sigma males don't buy into this narrative. They value experiences and personal freedom over the accumulation of stuff. The pursuit of wealth for the sake of showing it off is empty to them. Sigmas would rather invest in things that bring real value to their lives, like learning a new skill, traveling, or simply enjoying time alone or with close companions. They reject the consumerism trap that makes people think their worth is tied to what they own. To a Sigma male, it's far more important to live a life that aligns with their inner principles and personal goals than to chase after objects that society deems prestigious. They see through the facade of materialism and know that happiness can't be purchased, only cultivated from within. The idea that people spend their lives working hard to acquire things they don't need to impress people they don't even like is, to a Sigma, an absolute mystery. Another baffling concept to Sigma males is the need for constant social interaction and belonging. While extroverts often thrive in social settings, and even many introverts seek out a sense of community, Sigma males are content with solitude. They don't need to be part of a group to feel secure or validated. In fact, too much socializing can be draining for them, as they prefer to spend their time engaging in meaningful conversations or activities rather than small talk or superficial relationships. This doesn't mean Sigma males are antisocial. They simply prioritize quality over quantity when it comes to interactions. The idea that some people fear being alone is perplexing to them because they find solitude to be an essential part of self-discovery and personal growth. To a Sigma, alone time isn't something to be avoided, but embraced as a way to recharge and reflect on life. The pressure to always be surrounded by people or to have an active social life feels unnecessary and, quite frankly, exhausting to a Sigma male who values his personal space and time more than constant interaction. Sigmas also find the fear of failure to be a ridiculous concept that holds too many people back. While the world often sees failure as something to be avoided at all costs, Sigma males understand that it is an essential part of growth. They don't fear failure because they know it's one of the most valuable learning experiences. For a Sigma, the fear of trying something new and possibly failing is far worse than the failure itself. They're more interested in the lessons learned from failure than the judgment of others. This mindset frees them to take risks, explore new ventures, and constantly evolve. They aren't held back by societal expectations or the fear of ridicule. In fact, they expect to stumble along the way and view those stumbles as necessary steps on the path to success. The Sigma male's approach to failure is one of pragmatism. Fail fast, learn quickly, and move forward. To them, the fear of failure is not just irrational, it's an obstacle to true innovation and personal growth. Another thing that doesn't make sense to Sigma males is gossip or the obsession with other people's lives. Sigmas simply do not care about the drama that seems to captivate the attention of many. While others may spend hours discussing someone's relationship, career choices, or mistakes, Sigma males stay focused on their own journey. They don't have time or energy to waste on idle chatter about people who aren't directly affecting their lives. To a Sigma, gossip is not only pointless but also toxic, as it fosters negativity and pettiness. Sigma males would much rather have deep, intellectual conversations or spend time alone reflecting on their own life than engaging in discussions about others. They value privacy, both their own and that of others, and find it absurd that people would be so interested in the personal affairs of others. Gossiping, to them, is a sign of boredom or insecurity, and it's something they avoid at all costs. They know that the time spent talking about others could be better spent improving oneself. The Sigma male also finds the idea of mindlessly following authority to be irrational. While most people tend to accept rules and orders without questioning them, Sigma males are naturally inclined to question authority. They are critical thinkers who don't just accept things at face value. They need to understand the why behind a rule or directive before they comply. Blind obedience, especially when it goes against their personal values or logic, makes no sense to them. Sigmas don't rebel for the sake of rebellion, but they do challenge ideas, especially if those ideas seem unjust, illogical, or counterproductive. This skepticism often puts them at odds with traditional structures, whether it's in the workplace, in social settings, or even within relationships. Sigmas value freedom and autonomy, and will not follow orders simply because they are told to. The idea that people would willingly surrender their freedom of thought and action without questioning authority is something that a Sigma male will never understand. Lastly, Sigma males are puzzled by the need to conform to traditional life paths. Society often expects people to follow a set timeline, go to school, get a job, buy a house, start a family, and then retire. Sigmas don't subscribe to this blueprint. They forge their own paths, which may not include any of the traditional milestones, or they may pursue them on their own terms and at their own pace. They don't feel the need to check off boxes just because everyone else is doing it. Whether it's choosing a career that doesn't fit the corporate mold, opting out of marriage, or deciding not to have children, Sigma males feel no pressure to conform to society's expectations. They live life on their own terms, driven by their personal desires and goals rather than societal norms. To a Sigma, the idea that life has to follow a specific trajectory is limiting and unnecessary. They see life as an open canvas, and they want to paint their own picture, not follow a pre-drawn outline.